So today in cloud gaming news, a developer CEO says you won't regret porting your game over to Stadia, and I want to absolutely explore that comment. Geforce now is sent to see a huge title this upcoming week, plus 120 FPS launches on all Android phones. Xbox has announced almost 30 plus new Xbox cloud gaming games, and a huge cloud-only game officially announced by massively Mr. Hideo Kojima. And finally, we'll take a look at the latest Boosteroid news. So guys, let's jump straight into it, and if you guys can thumbs up. For Scars Gaming YouTube channel, they interviewed the CEO of WayForward, the makers of the Shantae games. There was definitely some good stuff that came out of this interview. One thing that absolutely stood out is a quote on how it's absolutely worth porting your game over to Stadia, especially if you're an indie developer, according to this CEO, and that makes a lot of sense. The developers for Wine and Making Simulator actually have outlined how profitable their margins have been with Stadia Pro, and they have praised the Stadia ecosystem and the community for really supporting their game. There is no doubt that for indie developers who can easily get lost in the Steam and the Nintendo Switch shuffle, they won't have their games highlighted, and therefore they won't be as profitable unless you're a big name indie developer. And well, the Stadia community, guys, is absolutely thirsty for great games, and they play these indie titles. Now, for me, the question has never been about getting awesome indie games. It's more about getting those awesome big AA and big AAA titles. So I loved hearing this quote, as we've now gotten several of these developers say Stadia Pro, plus the ability to have that option to buy the game with the current monetization that Stadia has been awesome for them. But I wanted to point this out, as I do think this is a great positive story, and hopefully this type of goodwill will reach more developers in the future, maybe through word of mouth, and it could see potentially maybe some bigger games that we all really want to see. All right, jumping to our next topic here, next story. Geforce now announced this past week that they are sent to see Genshin Impact. It's launching in just some days here on June 23rd. It's an open world action RPG. It's a very popular game. Geforce now has also announced a broad rollout of 120 FPS on all Android phones. Previously, it was only on select phones, and it's something I did have myself and have been enjoying ever since it was actually released many months ago. Hopefully, a lot of you guys should now have access. Geforce now also sees the launch of 6 titles this past week. Most notably on this list, Chivalry 2 looks like a fantastic game without a doubt. All right, let's jump to our next topic. Xbox had a huge showcase over a week ago, and they announced a crap ton of games that are coming out within the next 12 months, the majority of these to Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Cloud Gaming. They also showcased future first-party games like Starfield, and I have to say that game to me looked absolutely amazing. But of course, like I said, the majority of these games are also heading to Xbox Cloud Gaming, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, the value that Game Pass is at and will be continued to be at, especially in the next year, is truly mind-blowing, and it's truly incredible. Mixed with the new cloud gaming streaming apps for Xbox and the streaming Xbox Stick, and Xbox is definitely making its mark overall. Finally, Hideo Kojima announced at this showcase that he's got an Xbox cloud-only game in the works. He mentioned how this is going to be something that we have never ever seen before, and I'm really guessing that he is 100% on the mark with this. I've talked about cloud-only games in length many times over the years, actually since the start of this channel, and I really feel like it's truly the future of gaming, guys, and I mean this. Might be 10 to 15 years from now when almost half these developers are going to be developing cloud-only games, because really it's going to be doing things that we've never seen before, and all the other developers are going to have to play catch up. But I think it's going to be a long time before we see so many more games in development for cloud only. But mark my words, guys, Hideo Kojima is almost going to be like the guy landing on the moon, but in the context of gaming, and I'm very excited to see what he pulls off. Of course, he did say it's going to be a long time before we see this game. All right, so yes, guys, Boosteroid, going forward, you're going to see me covering all of Boosteroid in all its glory, especially since it has arrived here in the United States, and especially since I've gotten to use it and I've experienced Boosteroid, and it's really good. It also has games no other service has, like Call of Duty Warzone, to name one. But this past week, about a week ago, they announced some new games, the BioShock series and Vampire Masquerade, and I wanted to highlight those games. If you guys are interested in Boosteroid, check out my link below. It is an affiliate link, so if you guys want to sign up, it really supports the channel if you use my link, and it literally helps keep the lights on in this house, so definitely check that out. If you guys want a full breakdown of the best Xbox cloud-only games, check out my link on the top left.